Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationships, and it's by user Throwaway75633. My youngest sister, 20, is rebound dating a guy who could be her father. I need to do something, but what? I was told that the title can be misleading. I meant that the guy could be her father age-wise. It's not like he might be her actual father. Anyways, I desperately need some input from outside because I am unable to think about this rationally all the way. I am in my early 30s, single, not married, not planning to. My life is alright at the moment relationship-wise. I have a brother, 25, single. A sister, 24, married for a year with a son who's almost 2. And my youngest sister is 20 and she recently broke up with her boyfriend of 3 years who had been living with her and our mother. It was an odd situation that worked out fine. Yesterday my mother told me that my youngest sister had found a new guy, probably less than 4 weeks after she broke up. 1 week ago she said she doesn't want a new boyfriend. Okay, so it's a rebound thing. Most people know situations like that. However, the guy is 20 to 30 years her senior. I immediately said that was completely wrong. That shouldn't be. My younger sister is nowhere near mature enough to be in a relationship with a man who is between 40 and 50. Some people might agree with me right away, some might not. But there's more. My youngest sister has never been very far for her age. She never really acted her age, and to me, and the rest of the family, she's probably more like 14 to 16 years old. Maybe that's our issue, but I don't think it is. Here's the thing though, my other sister married a man 20 years her senior when she was 22. While uncomfortable or weird at first, we never really questioned her ability to make a decision like that. It's her life, and to be fair, her husband is a stand-up guy and they're doing well in life. But my youngest sister is different. It immediately felt wrong to me, just like it did to our mother. I immediately had the instinct to protect her from some lecherous old effer, my thoughts. The guy himself appears to be thrilled that he can date my sister, according to our mom. I know it's a completely legal relationship, and I also think that nothing good can come from me being brutally forward and putting the hammer down when talking to my sister about it. My whole life I have stayed out of my sister's relationships, and as a result, I've always had a great relationship with both of them. But I know in my heart that this is wrong on every level. So does our mother. She's literally losing sleep over this. It hit her really hard. And the only thing she could do was ban the guy from her house. She can't legally forbid this relationship. She knows it. So this was the only thing she could do to show her disapproval aside from telling my sister. However, I always try not to be a person who acts upon what feels right in his heart. I pride myself on being more rational than most people when it comes to trying to solve a problem. But I am not able to be rational here. There is so much more information I would probably add to this, but I'll try to calm down now instead and maybe hope for questions for further clarification. I haven't talked to my sister about it yet. I have not confronted the guy yet. I feel like I have to do at least one of those two things very soon. What do I do? OP, I think this is a crappy situation. I know she's an adult and she can do what she wants, but still, if she has the maturity level of a 16-year-old, being in a relationship with a guy that's 30 years older than her kinda gives me the creeps. I mean, if it was my daughter in your sister's place, I'd lose my mind, man. But rationally speaking, apart from asking her if she's okay or if she's happy or something like that, there's not much more you can do. I mean, you said that her maturity level was that of around a 14 to 16-year-old girl, which means that if you confront her and tell her she can't do it, that's just gonna wanna make it do it even more. So apart from just talking to her and telling her the truth that you don't think it's healthy for her, like I said, there isn't much more you can do. But unfortunately, I think you need to let her make this mistake. Hopefully, it won't escalate too much and she'll realize and actually learn from it. Maybe even mature some more. And yeah, like I said, if it was my daughter and your sister's situation, the most I could probably do is just be worried and be there for her if she needs me. That's about it. And what about you guys? What would you do if you were in an OP situation? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Your sister may just be following in the path of your other sister, as she can see the older man-younger woman relationship can work and can be healthy. She probably sees it as a way to feel okay with dating a much older man, as the other sister has done it and everything is okay with it. My advice is to you to just be there for your sister, voice your concerns as it's okay to do so, and offer up the validity that you'll be there for your sister if anything goes awry with this guy. It's okay to tell her how you feel, that she's young, maybe a little immature, and that others disapprove. Let her know that you're just a phone call away and that you'll be there as soon as you can if she needs anything, even if it's just to vent. You just have to sit back and be there for her, because as soon as everyone jumps all over her crap, she'll try even harder to make the relationship last much longer to spite everyone. And OP responds, "This is the best advice so far, thank you. My fear is obviously that the guy would take advantage of her in whatever way, so I hope that our mutual trust is high enough that I can be there for her, but at the very least I need to let her know that." "It's not going to happen," says, "It's a rebound, she's an adult, you need to back off and leave it be, because it'll run its course. Whether he gets annoyed with her immaturity, or she gets annoyed that he doesn't want to do all the same fun things she does. It's not your place to decide who she dates and why, and frankly, it's arrogant and disrespectful to presume that it's your place to do something about a situation you're uncomfortable with, even though it has nothing to do with you. If she asks for your advice and/or opinion, then by all means be honest. Tell her you're uncomfortable with the situation and you're worried that he might just be taking advantage of her. However, if she doesn't ask and you try to tell her what to do, even as unsolicited advice, she'll be more resistant and feel more drawn to him." Tilane says, "She's going to make her mistakes no matter what you tell her. Your goal in this is to keep her safe. That's why you want to convince her not to be with this guy. That won't work and you know it. All you can do is say, I don't think this is a good idea, but it's your choice, so I'm not going to get on your case about it. You are my sister before you're his girlfriend, so even though I disapprove of the relationship, I am here for you if you need anything, and I will continue to be here no matter what happens with that man." And then you make sure you always have an open line of communication with her. If she moves in with him, make sure you talk to her at least once a week and reassert that you are there for her if she needs anything. If she's making a mistake, she'll realize it eventually and will need help and support to get back on her feet afterwards. If she complains to you about him but she isn't in danger, that is, disregard this next bit if you have reason to believe he's hitting her or similar. Don't say, "I told you so, I knew this would happen, you should have listened to us." It'll be hard on you. Stuff she says about the relationship is going to make you more certain that she's doomed. But the best and only way you can help her is to support her in her bad decision so that when things do go to hell, she tells you and lets you help. And OP responds, "This is the stuff I was looking for. Thank you so much for your comment. I can only assume that many people here misunderstood me, possibly because I wrote the OP in a rather emotional state. I'm absolutely not looking to control her, but I had no real idea of how to act and what to say in order to bring my sister closer to me, so that if she gets in trouble with the guy, I can be there. Your comment is exactly what I was looking for. Thank you." Additional information from OP's comments. I don't know her side at all yet in all of this, as I haven't talked to her yet. Of course, the reason I didn't immediately pick up the phone was that I don't want to go into a conversation like that purely on my gut feelings and instinct. Nothing good can come from a lecture. Everyone acts as if I was trying to control my sister. There are several comments here with good advice, which I will most likely follow in parts. Stuff like letting her know that I will be there for her if things turn bad, that she must never hesitate to call her brother, etc. It's like half the people here think that age never matters. Well, if you get a vast age difference, it can be beneficial to both parties or it can end badly, with the more experienced person in the relationship manipulating the more inexperienced one, which apparently isn't a rarity. This can end very badly and that's what effing scares me. But it does appear as if there's nothing I can do except just be there for her if things do end badly. Also, please don't get caught up in expressions like putting the hammer down. English is not my first language, and what some people took away from it is much harsher than what I intended to say. Also, still, nothing like that was actually said in real life. That was said with the overwhelming feelings of wanting to protect my sister. Alright, well, OP got some pretty sensible information and he was able to explain himself a little bit better. Now, OP has given us 2 updates, so let's move on with the first one. I took the advice of a good friend and of several comments under the other post. There was some good input and my sister was very open-minded to talk. It was like she was prepared for it. The good. She told me she was very happy in that new relationship. She told me he treats her much better than her ex. She understood that as a big brother, of course, I'm concerned. She understood that I'm really scared for her. I told her from the start that I'm not trying to interfere and she seemed to appreciate that. I told her repeatedly that I will be there for her and she just needs to call me if anything goes wrong. After the talk, she told me that she's really glad to have me as her big brother. The bad? Then I met the guy. Seriously, not a single thing could have prepared me for meeting the guy. Now I understand why my mother lost sleep over this. I had actually met the guy before. I had talked to him before, and after just experiencing the guy for a few hours, I never wanted to meet him again. That was before this relationship began. 2 or 3 weeks ago, my mother celebrated her birthday, barbecue, family, great day. Except for that one guy that no one knew why he was there. He is in my sister's music club thingy. Well, my mom didn't question his presence as far as I know, so why would I? Well, I didn't like him. To be fair, there are even people in my family that I don't like spending time with, but who doesn't? But this guy annoyed me from the start. After he heard what industry I work in, he told me an outrageously idiotic BS story and tried to sell it to me as truth. I knew it was BS and called him out on it. So he said that his friend, who studied at a university, told him. So I said that his friend was wrong. When he saw that he couldn't convince me, he said that his friend probably played a joke on him. Whatever. Then he repeated that and promised me to call out his friend. Whatever. I walked away. He started following me and repeated the same thing several times. Who knows why? At that point, I already knew that I wouldn't partake in any conversations with that guy anymore. Well, first impressions are first impressions, but the guy did seem like an idiot through and through. Kept saying stupid crap all day, none of which I remember. He got drunker and drunker. At one point, my uncle was talking to my sister about her love life now that she was single, and he was joking with her about finding a new guy for her. I found that creepy enough by itself, and I still hate myself for not stepping in. But I hate myself more for not stepping in when Mr. Craphead drunkenly and jokingly asked her if she was gonna be gay now. Like, what the actual F? Keep in mind though, all of this happened before they were even a couple. Anyway, after the talk with my sister today, the guy happened to show up. He isn't actually banned from my mom's house as I said in the other post, but he's banned from staying overnight. He is still allowed to show up. Well, he showed up. I recognized him and immediately looked at my sister in disbelief. I said nothing because I didn't want to ruin the talk we just had, but I buried my face in my hands and took a while to regain my composure. He is 54. His son is older than my sister. The guy is a disgusting looking dumbass F piece of crap annoying see you next Tuesday. He is not wise, he's broke. There is no redeeming quality about him as far as I'm aware. Of course, I said none of that to my sister though. I kept my mouth shut because I had no idea what the right thing to do was. Staying quiet was probably the right thing because I don't have nice words for that a-hole. After reading the comments on my last post, I spent some time rethinking my positions. Someone made me aware that my sister's ability to choose a partner might be much better than I, as a potentially overprotective older brother, think. Well, today I know that that is wrong. My mother later told me that my sister actually told my brother first on the phone. The moment my sister told him who it was, my brother immediately ended the conversation. Maybe not the right thing to do, I don't know, but it shows you that our mother and I aren't the only two people who regard the guy that way. Her first words to me about him in that talk today were, "We both have no idea how it happened, it just made click and there it was." He said that the age gap was too big, that it's wrong, but oh well, love just happens. No, it doesn't. That piece of crap knows it's wrong and he entered the relationship anyway. What does that say about him? I'm just glad that I had to leave shortly after he arrived because I didn't want to ruin the good talk. But I seriously want to hurt that guy right now. Don't worry, I won't. I have never been a violent person and I don't act on instinct like that. But that guy seriously feels like an effing predator looming over my little sister who has no effing clue what's going on. I can see it all happening and I'm completely powerless. So back to square one, no idea what to do. At least I did the right thing today and the outcome for my sister was the best I could hope for. But this has suddenly become so much harder. Well, now we know that OP actually had met this person before and he definitely didn't like him. We also got a more solid number on the age gap and it is 34 years. Anyways, let's move on to the final update to see how this story ends. It's over. After 2 or 3 months, the guy finally showed his true face. Even though in retrospect, I could have seen this coming from a mile away if my sister had told me the stories. Just as a couple of people suspected, the guy showed signs of being an emotional manipulator and abuser. Luckily for my sister and our whole family, he is also incredibly stupid. Here are a few things that happened that opened my sister's eyes. 1. None of her friends wanted to meet the guy. He basically made her not see her friends anymore, with no rules but with constant whining whenever she was considering meeting a friend. 2. The final day of them started when my brother was in town. My brother asked my sister to come over for the family barbecue. Sister's guy asks to join. Brother declines. This conversation basically happened with my sister relaying messages. The guy punches a door out of anger, blames my brother for his hurting hand. Seriously. 3. Guy then tells my sister to decide between her family and him for good. That was the most stupid part. They had been together for maybe 2 to 3 months. Immediately, my sister calls our mom and asks, crying, if she is even welcome back home. Of course she is. And she's back. 1 week later, my brother and 2 other male friends went over to collect her stuff while the guy wasn't home. I couldn't because of work. Story over. So, this worked out well. I'm glad it didn't turn into a horrifying long-term thing. My sister has already made her next mistake, but I'm not going to delve into that. It's not even close to this one. Thanks to all the people who had kind words and helpful advice for me. Apparently, I handled it the only way that I could as a big brother without destroying my relationship with my sister. But damn it, it was a really difficult time and robbed me of a good amount of sleep while it lasted. I don't wish this on anyone. Some of the contrary voices from the other threads may be right. Maybe it is possible to have a healthy relationship with an age gap like this, 54 male, 20 female. But this was not it. My takeaway from this is that I need to keep my distance, just letting her know that I'm there if and when she needs me. I don't want to rub anything in, I'm just glad it's over. I hope to never be confronted with it again after this thread is done, although I don't expect that to happen. This whole ordeal was so chock full of stupid mistakes that I can only shake my head. And that's it. That's all we've got from OP. And apparently, he was right, even though he didn't really know he was right. That relationship was not healthy for his sister, and it's a good thing that she's out of there. And I think OP's general takeaway from this is quite sensible as well. Anyways, OP, thank you so much for sharing, and take care. Now, let's move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance, and it's by user Sherlock Da Vinci. Not qualified for the promotion? Then I'll just do my job. A few years ago, I worked for a furniture store in the back store. My job consisted of unloading and loading trucks, assembling furniture, and placing it on the main floor of the store. After around 6 months there, my supervisor announced he resigned, meaning his post was up for grabs. I had all the technical requirements, so I applied, but they gave the job to another one of my colleagues who had more experience, which was totally reasonable. After maybe 1 year, my then supervisor just stopped coming to work for no reason. He just decided he had enough and he just left. No 2-week notice or anything. So while the director tried to get to him, I took over the role of supervisor. I was the one with the most experience. This means that combined with my regular work, I was now the one telling people what to do, when, doing the schedule and all the paperwork for the shipment. 3 weeks later, my colleague was officially fired by my director. In those 3 weeks, I kept doing the job of supervisor and doing it pretty well, so I thought that the promotion would come to me, but my director did nothing. I went to see him, explained what I had been doing, and asked if I got the promotion too, which he answered that I was not qualified nor smart enough to do this job. After some thinking, I just decided that if I was not smart enough to do the job, then I shouldn't do it. So I went back to doing my regular job, and I also started looking for something else. 4 to 5 days after I stopped filling in, my director came to see me in the back store asking why the F the job isn't being done. After all, without me to organize it, nothing was getting out of the store to be delivered to the client. I just reminded him of our previous meeting, and he told me, "Yeah, I remember that. What I meant is you're not qualified to get the pay bonus for the job. You still have to do the job, you idiot." I have to admit, I still wonder how he thought that would work. Still a bit dumbfounded, I just told him that if I wasn't going to get paid for it, I certainly won't do the job, and that considering we were already short-staffed with my old supervisor gone, he should be a bit more polite. Apparently, this was an unreasonable request, a total lack of respect for him, and worth of firing me. Yep, still don't get how that would fix anything, but hey, he's the boss. I packed everything and left, knowing that the back store, which needed 5 people to operate, was now down to 3, with the most experienced worker having a total of 4 months. It only took my boss one day to call me back and tell me that maybe he went overboard and that perhaps we could arrange something for the promotion. To which I replied that I would not be coming back since I had a few interviews lined up. I hung up while he was still cussing at me. After a few months at my new job, I heard some surprising news. The store had closed down after 2 other backstore employees resigned. Gotta admit that it felt good to see my old boss finally get what he deserved. Nothing to add to that, OP. Well done and well deserved for your boss. Take care and thanks for sharing. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I really did enjoy reading them to you. So if you did, then don't be shy and go ahead and give the video a like. And don't forget to subscribe or even share this video with people that you might think will enjoy my storytelling. Also, if you have the time, go down to the video description and check out all the links I have for you, from our Discord community to my channel merch. And finally, I'd like to say thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy my videos. And having said all that, I'll see you guys in the next video.